Selling rental property with tenants in Hull, Goole, Skegness, East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. Selling rental property with tenants can be a confusing procedure as your decision affects one or more people. There are a few things you need to do in order to avoid complications and make life easier for yourself and your tenants. In this video, we'll also look at tenants' rights when selling rental property with tenants in Hull, Goole, Skegness, East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire, and how can a landlord show a house while occupied? Can I sell my rental property with tenants in it? Short answer, yes. Selling rental property with tenants in Hull, Goole, Skegness, East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire is quite common, and many landlords are faced with the decision to sell whether they like it or not. It can be a confusing procedure as your decision to sell affects one or more people. There are a few things you need to do in order to avoid complications and make life easier for yourself and your tenants. In this video, we'll also look at tenants' rights when selling rental property with tenants in Hull, Goole, Skegness, East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire, and how can a landlord show a house while occupied. So here's how to sell a rental property with tenants in it. Not many can afford to wait for tenants' tenancy to run out before you sell your house. Selling rental property with tenants in Hull, Goole, Skegness, East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire is definitely possible. However, clear communication needs to be established in order to proceed with selling the property. Here are some of the options you can take to sell your house with tenants on the lease. Sell with tenants in place. This is completely possible. A potential buyer might be interested in renting out a house in the first place. By leaving your tenant in the property, it may make it more attractive for some buyers. Cash for keys method. You might be wondering what that is. You pay your tenant to leave the property. This is especially effective for those looking to sell their house fast. Depending on your relationship with the tenant, you can offer them help at moving, pay their security deposit, or anything else you can think of. Sell to the tenant. In the case of an unwanted property and not wanting to deal with going through viewings, you can sell to the tenant if they are interested. Can a landlord show a house while occupied? Here's how to handle house viewings while your tenants still live in the property. Communicate all dates and times with the tenant. You must get consent at least 24 hours in advance. All communication must be done in writing. You must not take photographs of the property and personal belongings without the tenant's consent. Please note that your tenant is legally allowed to refuse viewings or visits for an agent if they do not agree with the times of the viewing. To avoid legal issues, you must respect their decisions and act accordingly. A tenant has rights that need to be respected when it comes to selling rental property with tenants in Hull, Goole, Skegness, East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. If the tenant refuses house viewings, you must arrange a time that's best suitable for them. If they are refusing to communicate, you can apply to the court. If a tenant refuses to leave the premises, see the cash to keys method mentioned earlier or try the eviction process. So how do you evict a tenant? Give notice. You are legally obliged to give notice to your tenant. Possession order. If the tenant doesn't move out on the time of your notice, you are allowed to seek possession order at the court. Get professional help. If you're having trouble, consider getting a solicitor or company that specializes in evictions to help you. Be aware that this can cost hundreds or thousands of pounds. Take it to court. Consider taking it to court if everything else fails. Our tip: communication is key. Make sure your tenant receives everything in writing and don't promise what you can't deliver. As much as you'd like to sell your house fast, make sure your tenant is happy and agrees to the decision. Sell your house to a cash house buying company. If you decide to sell your house, why not sell it fast to a cash house buying company? We buy houses with repairs and give you the opportunity to save on estate agents' fees. You will receive a quick and hassle-free sale. Can we buy your tenanted property quickly and for cash? At K&G Lettings Limited, we have helped many landlords to sell their tenanted properties by buying it directly. Don't spend all of your time evicting tenants. We can maintain your rental income while the sale goes through. When you sell to a cash buyer, we'll buy your house in any condition. We'll buy it as is. At K&G Lettings Limited, we'll make you a no-obligations cash offer for your house in order to help you avoid the stress of selling your tenanted property. Have a question? Give us a call. We're always ready to talk. No matter if you have questions about the house selling process or want to get a quote for your house, we're more than happy to help. Reach us at 014-829-61961 or send us a message on our website.